Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. I found this canvas panel pre-painted on. I used to paint my canvases with like a reddish colour because I read about people doing it. So I thought I'd start doing it. And I found this one in a bag of panels and I was like, ooh, nice, I'll use that. And I'll do a little bit of a painting, so I'm getting some using this palette again. I've got some titanium white, ivory black, chrome yellow. There's a bit of alizarin crimson there and ultramarine blue. I need to create some nice clean blue for the sky. And put a little bit of yellow in it. So a tiny bit of yellow in there. White and yellow. Not much yellow though. Just enough to change the colour but not to make it go green. So it's just a tiny bit. So I'll use this as our sky. So we've got a I'm just going to paint straight on rather than messing around. I'm using this brush as well. I got a pack of cheap brushes from the Range, which is our local art shop, I suppose. And I thought I'd try them out. They're quite soft. A bit more like watercolour brushes, to be honest. But I wanted to see what they would be like. Just thinking about a different way of painting, really, because I want to get better at portraits and well, get better at everything. And I find a good way for me is to look at it differently, look at everything differently, upside down, inside out, and then carry on. Keeps that freshness in your painting if you keep experimenting. I think if you just keep doing the same, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing the same thing if you enjoy it. I think for me personally as a painter, I feel like I need to make changes all the time to improve. And because one way of painting might be great for a certain subject, but it might not be that good for another subject. See how this blends really nice. This is the thing with these soft brushes, they blend lovely. Want a little bit more light for the horizon area, so I'll just throw it in. Nice blue all the way across. Just blend that out. Quite nice that is actually. I'm going to go for some more ultramarine blue, the top part. Just to deepen the colour at the top. And then blend it together in the middle. Depending on how smooth you want it, you can blend it to whatever you want. That's quite a nice sky. Now, there is a mirror reflection, kind of, in the water. There's trees all along here, and then there's water. But it's not the perfect mirror reflection, that's the thing. It's quite dark. It almost goes really dark down here. So I'm just going to put this in anyway. It's not quite blue. I think I need a bit more of a greyish blue at the bottom. Just grabbing a bit more white in there. It's kind of strange, this reflection. It kind of goes darkish there because there's movement here. There's like movement, and it's darker, and then it goes light, and it goes darker again. But we'll carry on, see what happens as we paint. Oh, we needed to leave an area for the trees. Whoops. Oh well. See, the good thing is, I'm not using that much paint. It's very, very thin. Just enough to cover up this reddish colour, really. And you can always come in with a rag or something and wipe some of it away if you wanted to. But if you like oil painting, like me, I mean, I like painting with anything, but oil painting's always been my favourite. They're so easy to blend. When I use other paints, I'm like, ugh, the blending, ugh. And it just doesn't work for me. So used to this, the oils. I find it really challenging. Yeah, so it goes kind of a greyish colour here. So I just added a bit of ivory black, just a little bit of ivory black. That looks quite nice. That does work quite well. So I'm just going to wipe my brush. What I want to do now is I want to create the clouds. I've just got an old rag, just wiping brush on to get it a bit cleaner. Now I need a bit of white. I've got a weird setup. I'm filming almost in a wall of canvases. I've got canvases all around me, and the reason is I'm blocking out reflective lights that are hitting from all directions. Because I thought I'll put my light in. I used to use a light. When I started filming in here again, I was like, no, something's not right. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm using the light in the other room when I was doing my acrylic painting. And I left it in there and forgot. And I was like, oh yeah, I did used to use a different light. I've just mixed up a lavendery colour. I think I need a bit of green in it. We need some green. I'm going to put a bit of sap green in. Just want that green hint. Bit of blue, bit of red. It's just a bit of all sorts in there. Bit of the crimson, bit of the sap green, bit of the ultramarine blue. Making a dark colour. Yeah, there's these trees that go all the way along here. So I went walking today because I wanted to look for painting ideas. Get myself inspired. Because I wanted to do some painting yesterday, but I wasn't inspired enough. I wanted that feeling like I'm going to change the world. No, not quite change the world. That's a bit over the top. The feeling of painting something magnificent. See, some of that light is mixing with my colour. It's a bit annoying, but it doesn't matter too much because I'll just go for a bit more dark and then I can put it on top. All the way along. This is where it's a bit weird because although this is quite dark here. You get like a split in goes about there, the split does. Just sitting back having a look at that. Now what I'm going to do, I want like a greeny colour. Greeny yellow, a bit of chrome yellow, a bit of sap green. Get some of that. I'm going to use the corner. I'm going to throw a little bit of crimson in as well. So it's not, the light only breaks some of these areas, it doesn't break all of them. There's a bit more colour over here, over there. And there's a bit of colour that goes along here. Always sitting back having a look. Oh, I can get my bluey, greeny, dark colour dark in there. There's hints of colour as well. See, depending on the colour of your brush, the shape of your brush, creates different effects as well. So this brush has got a little bit more of a, well, it's a flat brush, so it creates more flat effects if you use it directly. There's a bit of a reddish colour in there as well. Okay. Yeah, if you use it straight on, you get flattened, flat head brush, so you can get straight. But if you use it in a corner, you can turn the shapes to be more rounded, so you get a little bit of a double amount of strokes you can do. I'm just going to quickly mix up a dark for my cloud. Bit of crimson, a little bit of grey. So it's sort of a bluey grey, and that's crimson and blue and black. And we can create our shade in the cloud. There's actually some really amazing clouds today. Well, actually there always is. It's just if you're working, you don't really notice as much. So this is just the shadow colours to start with. Okay, let's just sort of sit back, have a look at that. A bit more dark. Yeah, that's quite good. We've got that pretty spot on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a little bit of this same colour. We don't need to do that one. That one's kind of covered up there. That might be there actually. My brain. We'll go for it there anyway. I should have had my mirror with me. That goes like that, so it would go like, oh no, I've done that wrong, haven't I? That should be like this, like there. The good thing is we don't have to do these as perfect because there's a bit of a movement in the water. Something like that. Let's go with that. Now, what we need to do... Okay, I had a bit of a disaster there. I had things falling over in all directions. You see, I'm using a canvas to block out the light. Well, couple of canvases, and I elbowed one of them. Oh, and then that knocked another canvas, and then that knocked my brushes over, and then that knocked the oil over, and that went everywhere. It was a disaster. But anyway, we're back on the painting. All's well that ends well. If only it did. I've had a few disasters recently. It's always things. So I'm just going to use a little bit of white and put these lights around the clouds. I just wipe the excess paint off the brush and then carry on. You can keep collecting fresh paint when you want your nice lights. Some of the brush hairs fell out then. Remember, if you use light pressure, you can just put the paint on the top and you won't lose as much. A little bit of this around this one as well. I'm giving it a bit of a wiggle because I know the water is in motion. Clouds are great fun to paint though, aren't they? I enjoy painting clouds. Getting that feel of the cloud. Okay, we're about right with that one. Okay, there's a little bit there as well. Goes a bit lighter in there. There's a bit of a light splodge. Boop. There we go. Okay, now this interesting light goes along the water, sort of splits this like that. It's a little bit darker than that. darker. And then sort of little lighter dots in amongst it. Try and create that effect. Yeah, that's sort of similar. It's got a similar look. There's a bit of a break there as well. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. See, something I always think of as well, so what I used to do a lot is I would overpaint and I'd be considering really going into detail, probably too much detail, and I try to always pull back from that, because that was I mean, how much detail do you put in? It's always a bit of a funny question. But for me at the moment, I feel like less can be more. So I'm going to put some leaves in using a smaller brush. I'm going to paint each leaf in. Some a bit darker than others. So you can think about like the paint that you've got on there and the paint that you're putting on, what happens, and you can work out, say if you do your green really dark, it's going to pick up a bit of this blue and it might go a little bit lighter. So you think about that when you're loading your colour. Some of them are going to be a bit more yellow. And some are a bit more to the blue, to the dark. Keep loading that brush. Just sit back, have a look. And then you can have a look to see what you need more of. I noticed it wasn't quite dark enough in places, so I needed a bit more of the dark. Can always bring out the light afterwards. I want a bit more of the dark down here. Bit of a yellowy colour. Bit of a light coming in here. Get a nice pile of yellow on there. I can put in a few leaves. Some light hitting some of those. In all different directions. Just sort of sitting back, having a look. There's a branch that comes across there as well, so I could paint that in. Sort of a dark reddish black. This little branch that goes. Just letting that flow off the brush. A little less pressure, just so it doesn't mix too much. We can put in a few. Something like that. And now I could put in a few sticks and stuff that you can see down here. And get a simple little painting scene that I saw today when I was out walking. I took quite a lot of photos, so I'm going to do a few of them. Be good fun. A little bird there. Maybe another one. Yeah. I did have one fly off from me actually. You get cormorants and quite big ones around, so I'll go with that for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A little simple painting you could do, no problem. And I'll say thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you another one. Cheers, bye. Disaster strikes. Once off again. How many disasters can one person take?